You want details? Fine. I drive a Ferrari 355 Cabriolet. What's up? I have a ridiculous house in the South Fork. I have every toy you can possibly imagine. And best of all, kids, I am liquid. So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required.
The email address, lifeadvicerr@gmail.com. We have Life Advice, we have Kyle, we have Steve, we have Wargon mic'd up here. I think there are a couple cleanup items maybe before we get to the emails. I guess the cliffhanger was the Wargon tattoo situation. So Wargon is dialed in and ready to go. Kind of take it wherever you want. I just trust your instincts more than ever before, so go for it.
What a mistake. I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of talk about like lion tattoos being bad. I got a lion tattoo.
No,
It's a lion?
I didn't know it was a lion.
No. I don't know what to say, man.
Is it a friendly lion?
No.
Is it an aggressive lion?
It's a Lion King tattoo, so it's very friendly.
Oh man, so it's okay.
So you really like the movie?
Very on brand for me. Yeah.
Mufasa or Simba?
It's like
Don't tell me Scar.
no, it's kind of like the painting.
Oh,
yes,
like
Yeah. It's like a watercolor
Rafiki.
tattoo of that. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You're just a big Disney guy.
So faceless lion then.
Faceless.
All right.
Faceless.
Cool. And it's like more art than anything else, I guess.
Yeah. Let's go with
Cool.
that.
Up to you.
Whatever
Can't
makes
say
me
I've
seem
seen that.
cooler. Well, yeah.
Are they looking
Yeah.
out over on the horizon? Is that? I don't know what it is. Do you take your shirt off for us?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Oh boy.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
That's Lion King right there, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
real
color,
estate
lot
for
of-
Lion King on that
Yeah,
shoulder.
it's a big one. It's
It's
a
a
big
big one.
Yeah, so go ahead. I think the backstory would be awesome.
one. Yeah.
What? I think Ceruti's instincts were right on that as well. Like,
Basically, it was like growing up, me, my mom, and my brother would play like a Sega Lion King game.
That game was awesome.
Yeah.
by the way.
And so it's like the extra life and like the save icon is what they are.
Wait, I thought you couldn't save in that. Oh, that was a Game Boy Lion King game. The one that
It's
just
not a
didn't
save. It's
offer
like
us-
if you died, you would go back to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
basically those two icons is what I got.
That game was sneaky hard.
It's tough.
Yeah. And Aladdin. Tough
Being
one.
like,
Aladdin
you
was
know,
good too.
Yep.
do you still like the tattoo?
Nice.
I'm saying that too. Good for you.
Yeah, no plans to get it anymore.
I'm still saying that
Like
about
it.
mine. Good for you.
Not a full Lion
That's-
King sleeve though.
No, I
That
wouldn't
tattoo's
say.
huge.
It's big.
That was a big one.
Can't say it with a shirt on that, which is nice.
Is that Garfield on the shirt there?
No, it's like an Ed Sheeran
Oh, okay.
tour shirt.
Got it.
Yeah.
It looked
Big,
like
Ed,
the top
big
of
Ed
Garfield.
Sheeran guy. Blowing people's minds.
Would Garfield have been a better answer?
Totally.
Who doesn't like Ed
Totally.
Sheeran?
A lot of people do, I guess. But yeah, the tattoos. I'm just freaked out by the tattoo because it's massive.
Yeah,
And
it's big.
There's so much color to it, and I was wrong. I was totally wrong. But you know what? I think we're learning more about Wargon throughout this entire experience, where you can't make assumptions. You can't. I think he's a non-assumption guy.
Yeah, we
Not
assumed
as I
there
know
was
you-
no tattoos. We assumed he
Yeah.
wasn't a big theater guy. And he was like, are you talking about, am I going to see Wicked again? Yeah, probably. The answer is yes. It's like, fuck, okay.
Speaking of performance, the Markle thing made the rounds because I said it on Bill's live pod because we were talking about Blake Lively, and I just felt like to the live audience. It's funny though. It's just always a lesson there where, like, I knew the Van Gundy part of the story would be funny because I hadn't told that part, and I don't think you would care, by the way. But the live audience, you can feel that they're enjoying the story or whatever. And then once Page 6 picked it up, it was all over. And for people that have listened, like I've told the story, I feel like it's pretty straightforward, but then it turned into a Page 6 thing, which is just always a nice reminder, like where you are when they don't use your name in the headline. They didn't even use Spotify.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like
ESPN.
Yeah.
Damn.
ESPN host. And then the funny thing is it got
Tough
community noted.
Oh, it
Community
did?
notes totally on my side.
To give
Being
credit.
like, yeah, but no, they were just like, he never asked her out. He simply asked her if she wanted to come on his radio show to promote Suits, which she declined.
So
was
about
it.
that photo you posted, did you have the options to buy the rights to that? And you were like, I'm not a sucker, or is that just all you could find with the watermark on it? of you two chatting it up.
Oh, the Getty.
Yeah,
it wasn't even Getty. It was like a lesser firm, whatever it was.
Yeah, there's a picture of us talking while we're in between plays or something like that. I just thought it would be funny. I just thought it would be funny to put to the page 6 thing, and that was simply it. But this story has lived on far too long for how insignificant it actually is. Although we got some emails saying that it was actually a lead story. Lead story is not accurate. It couldn't have been a lead story, but that in Australia it made the news.
I love that somebody in her life is just like, hey, do you remember a guy named Ryen Russillo? And she's like, no. She's like, well, never mind that. Don't read it. It's fine.
I can't imagine. I don't know. There's a lot. She has a lot going on, but you just wonder if there's someone on the PR team that goes, did you see this thing that popped up? And she's just going,
do we need to worry about this? Yeah.
Yeah. What is this?
Do we have to put out some denials here?
No, they don't have to, because I think the story was pretty straightforward. So anyway, I think for people that had never heard it before, it's funny, but I think there's people that have been listening for a long time that would be like, this again. I mean, that's kind of how I felt. All right, let's see here. Let's do a tattoo lawyer follow-up, because I thought this was really good. 56, 6'7", 255. No real gym stats by Walker Cardio. Do push-ups and light weights at home. NBA comp is a guy you'd think would be good because of his size, but isn't. I field a lot of so you play ball questions. Sigh. 6'7", 255. You're going to get that. In follow-up to the football guy who's getting out of law school and wants a sleeve, I've been a trial lawyer for nearly 30 years. Several years ago, during multiple sessions, I got a back piece that takes up about 2/3 of the surface area of my back. There's a tiny part that peeks up at the center of the nape of my neck. If you look carefully, I'm wearing a t-shirt. Nothing shows if I'm wearing a dress shirt. I would tell our guy, unless you intend on office-only practice, you're going to want to keep tats out of sight for work purposes. If you're going to go to court, be advised there are still some judges that are old school, conservative types, who will look askance at your ink, no matter how smart your arguments you're making in your case otherwise are. The last thing you want to do is compromise your client's case by exercising your right to make a statement with ink on your arms and give the court a reason to take you less than 100% seriously. I like the idea of being in court, knowing that my back is covered in tats, but that no one, and certainly not the judge, has any idea. My tats are for me, not to stick in anyone else's face, and my first duty is to my client, so I can't screw that up by showing off ink to the wrong judge. Just my 2 cents. Love the show. Thank you. I think he kind of nails it there. Right? If you're going to be a trial lawyer.
Yeah, if you're going to be a trial lawyer, maybe don't have the thing creeping up to the back of your ear from like your back piece. Like, I got it. Makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like a really, I don't know. I just really like his way, maybe him being older.
Right. It was less about
gives him an
firms.
advantage.
It's more about the judge who's like, is the person who runs shit, and it's kind of a roll of the dice who you get. And he's like, you can still roll that number where that guy's like, oh, I hate this tattoo guy. It's just how it is now. Makes sense.
This is the classic, like, you're free to do whatever you want in life and whatever legally, but like, people are going to look at you and judge you different ways based on the things that you do or the stuff that you put on your body. So like, being self-aware about that is important. Like, cool, if you want to get a face tap, great, by all means, but like, it's probably gonna hurt parts of your life, you know? I don't know. It's probably people are gonna ask about it.
Yeah, right. Is that the one with all the shit in her face?
Right, which Kelly are you talking about?
Yeah.
Spiderweb
Speaking of
tattoo Kelly or regular Kelly?
Speaking of crazy back tats, the Affleck one is always the one that just blows my mind.
That one, yeah,
it's nuts.
That woke some dudes up.
I'm still not even sure, like, what was the decision process in that? It takes up it's colorful, his entire back, and he also doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would have that.
Just take one more look at it.
He doesn't, but I don't. I mean, you want to talk about non-assumption guy? You know, I love him. Like, I love him now. I don't know that I've ever liked him more.
That's a weird one. That's a weird tattoo.
Why, had you not seen it
No,
before?
I have. I guess I never really zoomed in on it, because I mean, the part of the funny part of that picture is that he's like standing, like looking like Ben Affleck does sometimes, just like I don't know if
Just
it's
the towel one?
defeated or what. Yeah.
It's so
Like
good.
that wasn't
Staring
the
at the
headline
ocean.
of the photo for me. It was just his kind of foot stance and the whole thing. It was just like, man, I guess I've been there too. So
Yeah.
so I guess I never really
Yes.
zoomed in other than that.
I think that stuff's good
All
for
right.
him, though. Like the cigarette photo, that's good for him.
Right. If you're yourself
Super
long
relatable.
enough, then everybody just kind of catches up. All right. 5'9", 175, no special gym stats. This guy's asking if 41 is too old for Tinder. Former high school all-conference second baseman and now lift in my basement. Free weights, lightweight, heavy reps, sauna to sweat, no cold plunge, just a cold shower. Basketball comp, Ohio State, Aaron Kraft. Loved Aaron Kraft. Pesky defender everyone loves playing with and hates playing against. Yes, I play defense and pickup. I live in a small town in the Midwest, and my dating options are limited to say the least. I've been divorced for over 6 years. Nothing nefarious at the end. We were just different people, grew apart. She's 7 years younger than me. I followed that up with a 4-year relationship with an even younger woman, 15 years younger than me. I hesitate to use any app to find a comparison. I'm old school, he said while striking out. Anyway, I focused on my career, but since I am contemplating a shift in strategy, my two brothers have cautioned me against it. They're both married with kids and have given up all hope in life. I recall Russillo dabbling on Raya. Not accurate. I talked about I was invited by a guy to join it, and he was selling me on how amazing it was, and I still never did it.
Raya's kind of crazy though, because there's the definition of famous. Like I thought it was just like for famous people. It's kind of not. Like it is. It's just like if you have some money and you want to, I don't know, have that sort of like cool prestige about you, I guess. I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah. I remember a guy got busted on it very early because I was just friends with both parties. And I think his argument was, well, no, they had just sent me the beta.
I was helping him out.
Like the
Doing those kinds
Silicon
of
Valley
favors.
episode.
I really love
"No, it's
app
just a-
development. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a beta test, which is an unbelievable excuse. I actually, now that I think about it again, I kind of respect it.
It's like, but you
I've
sell
no clue where to
insurance. What do you mean?
Why are you in Cancun though? In the pic, did you have to upload a picture? Yeah, it's just testing the beta. The pixels, just compression's amazing. I have no clue where to start, or even if I should get on another app. Any thoughts? Appreciated. Love the pod. Would love to join Kyle for a heater if he makes it near Chicago. Okay, that's from Bob, who changed his name. I'm just telling you, as you get older, you should just have less apprehension about all this stuff. Like, think of all the things you're still going to do wrong. Like, sometimes I think navigating life, you're led to this belief that you're just going to not make mistakes, right? And I think the gravity of the mistakes, it would be nice if the gravity lessened and you stopped making mistakes because you learned your lesson and all these different things. But I mean, if you go on Tinder and it doesn't work as a 41-year-old guy, then cool. You'll have had this 6-month experience on Tinder where it didn't work. And then what happens? Now what's the problem? There is no problem. I think people need to have, I don't know if apprehension is the right word. Maybe it is, but, about all this stuff. Like, it's really up to you. If you're lonely, if you don't feel like you have many options and you're kind of going through this extended period of time where you need some change for yourself, like, what's wrong? Your brothers who are married giving you a hard time? Like, who cares? They're still going to be your brothers, and maybe they're right. Or maybe, like, how about this part? Maybe we even think that there's a chance of a positive ending where you do meet somebody that you like. And it seems like you like to trend a little bit younger here. So, it might be a fit for you. So I think this is a very innocent approach. It's part of, I actually think you're kind of young to even be that worried about it, to be honest with you. So, it's one thing to tell your brothers or your friends, be like, hey, I'm on Tinder, as opposed to being like, well, there's this Twitch streamer with huge cans and I sent her a humidifier from her Amazon list. So we'll see how that goes.
Dude, that was awesome.
Like, this is, I am in favor of
Humidifier.
Of people doing
Kidding
this
me.
for themselves.
I
It was
think
on her wish list.
right, yeah, sure.
Sense.
Trying to be practical here. Somebody else isn't going to get her. I think if 50 is the new 40, that means 40 is the new 30. 30 is fine for Tinder. That's okay. I think if you want to find younger women, Tinder's probably the pool to be swimming in. That's okay. I think if he doesn't want people in his town, his small town, to know he's on Tinder,
Yeah.
there you go. You got to consider what's important to you. It's not sad that you're doing it, but if you don't want this, however many people that are in this maybe 2,000 person town, I don't know what it is. Again, people think about you way less than you think they are. But if it's going to bother you that you're there and your shirtless profile picture is out there and people are going to see it and talk, then that's maybe a valid concern.
Or you could have a shirt.
Yeah, you
You could have a shirt on. We need to all collectively be less repressed for stuff that is not bad.
Sure.
Serious. Okay. So what happens? I mean, play it out. Oh no. You go to the local pharmacy and they know you're on Tinder.
Yeah.
Now what? Now what happens?
The hair salon, my daughter said, Tim.
They
is
charge
on
you
Tinder.
extra. They don't.
No, you're right.
It doesn't. It's fine. It really is fine. I don't even know if any of these things exist the way that they do, and if they do, those people are far more outdated than your reservations about it. So, like I said, what's the worst that could happen? You don't like the experience. You learn that you don't like that experience, and then you change your approach after this experience.
Yeah, maybe try eHarmony. I always think once you get up in the ranks there, maybe do something a little more serious.
I don't know, those ads.
I haven't seen them in a
Feel like
while.
they're
I wonder are they even still around?
Yeah. That this will be
Did everybody
an everlasting love. Yeah.
Fucking heater today.
That's a little old, I think, for our boy here.
Match.com?
Is that still
eHarmony feels old.
eHarmony.
I'm getting all
feel
these
really
sponsored
old.
things now. Single and over 50. DateMyAge.com.
He doesn't want to, though.
I know. That's not, that one's not for you.
Yeah. I think the Raya thing is simply a recommendation. So again, it was years ago. I was with this guy in New York. He was a Raya guy. He was shocked. He's like, "You're not on this?" I was like, "No, on TV." And then you hear Ben Affleck's on it. You're
Yeah,
like, all right.
John Mayer's on there. So I mean, listen, there's no shame in that. It's fine.
Again, maybe
Maybe
I
imagine
learned
Meghan
something
Markle
from
on
Bob.
there.
If you can afford a country club, why not?
I think we're gonna leave the Meghan Markle ones alone. She doesn't seem to care about hair.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. I think I have one here that I was saving for a little bit. Let's see what we got. Saving it for a Wednesday. We want to do a statute of limitations on an X. We have that one. Got another bartender deal here.
I'm always interested in bartenders. Like, what do I do in this situation sort of deal?
No, I think it's a move thing. So we'll hold off. Maybe we'll cue it. It's there. This one's good. It's unique. It's quick. Maybe we can do two more. All right. Hey, gang, make it quick. I work at a tire shop and caught some fella stealing my tires. My boss, her son, and I were watching the camera footage, and my boss's son said, "Damn, looking a little flat on that speed," as he watched me go after the thief. I panicked and said, "Well, yeah, but I used to run a 4.240 in high school." He was mind blown. I'm 28. I was quick back in the day, but certainly not that fast. Am I a loser? That's not a scene from Gillis, right? Tires.
I don't
I
think
haven't made
so.
No, I don't think so.
Just making sure.
But the
Sounds
old
like
"I was
something-
good in high school" check tape is always a great line.
4.2 is like
4.2 is legend.
Come on,
It's
dude.
world class speed.
That's fucking ridiculous.
That's a good call. I
This
think
guy's
we got
jumping
it.
out of a plane, not doing a 4.2. So
Right.
I don't know.
I feel like you get
about-
drafted alone just running a 4. Anyone that runs a 4.2 just gets drafted.
Yeah, stash
It's
him
that-
at
it's
least.
that special.
Right? He's returning kicks or something.
Yes, I think you're right. I think if you're a 4.2, people are making you do stuff. Like, here's some pads. Just we'll see how it goes. See if this guy can catch. 4.2, man. How did you get to 4.2? He said he was panicked, so there you go. He got
Yeah.
to a 4.2. I think you just have to hope it never comes up again. But if 4.2 is so fast, he may be bringing people over to meet you. I think I'm more interested in the footage of you chasing after
Me
a guy
too.
stealing your tires.
Yeah, it's just like It's like in the same category of like lying about a movie you've never seen. If it never comes up again, it's like, cool. That guy thinks I saw this movie. If it does come up again, not only like, is this weird? It's like, God, what else do you think he's lying about? That's so weird. Why would you, aren't we like 40? I don't know the age, but I mean, you get a certain point where it's like, don't lie about what you did last summer. It's not fucking cool. You learn that, so I don't know.
I probably lied about my 40 time though.
Did you?
I've definitely lied about my 40 time. Yeah. Like,
All right, to who? To who?
Like, when I was in like you get to college, you're like, oh yeah,
Okay,
I played
sure.
football in high school. Which, yeah, I ran a 4.6.
I think you get out of college in that whole like I can be anybody. Who's gonna know? And then you go back to being a normal person, right? So
yeah.
After post college though, you're being honest about your 40 times.
Yeah, at that point, I don't think
All right.
if you care, it's a little.
You stopped chirping
kind of a
guys
red
in
flag.
bars and you started telling the truth about your 40.
But
That's
yeah,
good.
you're
That's
playing,
great.
the intramural flag football, and you want to impress the guys. You're like, yeah. I mean, I was more laterally quick than I was line quick, but you like.
That's what people with slow 40s say.
That's true. Yeah, you're you're right. So that's why I lied about it.
Yeah, that's what I used to always say. It's like you get the ball in my hands.
Yeah.
You can't clock it. But
Yeah.
just straight line speed.
There's pad speed and there's track speed.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, game speed. Honestly, why can't anyone figure out with your 4.2 background, if you're not at 4.2 now, how you couldn't catch guys running away with tires?
Well, did he want
with
to?
tires? It's funny. Definitely.
Can you
slow you
imagine
down.
what's your 40 with the tire? That's slow.
Yeah,
That's got to be. The tires are tough to run
looking
around
a little
with. I've never
flat there.
stolen
So
anything.
that's so funny too.
Yeah, I think Kyle's right. You just hope it doesn't come up again.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a tough one.
If a
lied
guy
about
tells
my
you if he's
40.
4.2, you should be able to Google that guy for something. Like there's
Yeah.
some you should
There's
be
a
able to
Max
just type his
Preps,
name and his
webpage.
state. And just there's something.
The kid next time you see him is like, can we pull up your huddle?
Because what's funny is I one of my wife's friends, her husband, like we hang out periodically. He played soccer in college, and he played soccer with this kid that I went to high school with, who was like legendarily fast. You always remember the fast kid in high school, like it could be however many years later, and like, yeah, I remember that guy. He ran, he was that dude, a soccer player, like he was unbelievable. You just always for the rest of your life remember who the fastest kid I feel like you grew up with was. It's like a universal dude law, and so you better be that guy.
Universal dude law. I've heard that before. That's good.
Yeah, I lied about it once at this bar in Boston.
You guys
I
all
don't
lied
even
about
know-
your.
I don't know why I did it.
I
I
don't
don't even
either,
know why
yeah.
I did it because
I'm
I did it
embarrassed.
in front of I think the guy who ended up being the Bosa brothers trainer, this awesome guy from Boston College, and he just called me right out. He was like, "You would be in the NFL if you ran that fast." And I went, "Yeah, maybe I would be." And I don't even know why I did it. And I was talking to this girl. It didn't even make any sense. It didn't make any sense. Like she was either going to like me or not like me, and it was going to have nothing to do with my 40 time. But I don't know. I was just. I actually remember the spot and the scenario leading up to it. It was kind of like this last ditch effort thing as you were leaving town. You'd be like, let's stop there for last call. And it was like on your way out of town. And then we were together and whatever. I actually think he lost all respect for me pretty quickly, I think, as that happened, and called me out immediately in front of everybody. And I just want to let him know that I appreciated that. I learned from it, became better and respected it. And then he went on to train the Bosas. Yeah. I mean, the guy was just an absolute stud of a human being. So thanks for that. If I never thanked him. But yeah, that's sort of weird. 4.2's fast, brother. 4.2 is really fast. So you may become the 4.2 guy in your town.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this one because I like it. It's unique. 23 years old, 6'3", 185. Bench 180, squat 220. 255. Don't want to cheat him. Hang clean 205. All right, a couple hang cleans in the mix. Pickup comp 10th grade JJ Redick. Can and will, bold font, all caps, shoot it from everywhere on the court, all while talking a ton of shit, all in the spirit of competition. I'm freshly out of college where I played D2 golf for 4 years. Love the golf talk, by the way. A lot of requests for a full Pinehurst recap. Not sure that it's been a couple months. So I'm not sure we're going to do it. Where I also met my girlfriend of 2.5 years. I started listening to you guys a couple months ago as I started my corporate career, and I enjoyed the in-depth NBA talk as well as life advice. Thanks. For some background that will be relevant to the rest of the story, I grew up in a small rural town where everyone knew everyone. Small town in it today. Small town America life advice. And if you were a good athlete and you were the best in just about every sport or activity, I realized that being the best in a small town doesn't reflect in larger cities all that often, but I'm naturally very competitively, highly motivated, and was lucky enough to play higher level AAU basketball under our Under Armour circuit during my high school years. I recently asked my girlfriend of 2.5 years to marry me. She said yes.
Nice.
I'm super pumped for the future. She's okay. This is a lot of information. So let's just,
Fresh out of
Just
college, maybe give him a break.
yeah.
He's maybe not thinking this one through.
Pare
Her
this down.
college basketball resume is incredible. Let me just say that for the audience and for you too. But he gets a little specific about it, and maybe it doesn't matter because this isn't that big of a deal. But I always like to try to make it as vague as we can without the specifics, because I think if I explain her entire resume here, people will figure out who it is, and maybe it doesn't even matter. Anyway, so the resume is incredible. Back to the email. She is better than me at most, if not all, competitive stuff we do together. Hear me out. It first became apparent when we were dating as I would use my rebounding and passing skills to help her with her basketball workouts, shooting drills. At the end of these workouts, she would always challenge me to game a one-on-one and then a free throw competition. At first, I wanted to do the chivalrous thing, let her win, smile through it, even though my competitive side was burning. As we did this more often, she started to call me out on this and gave me a pass to play her normal without utilizing my physical advantage too much. Our main rule is I can't block any shots if I am out of defensive position. Okay. Yeah, I would imagine that she would tell you, I don't want you not trying here. Let's go. Long story short, she kicks my ass in the regular, and at best, I can beat her about 40% of the time. I know I haven't played competitively outside of weekly pickup, but I also know I'm not washed up. I mean, yeah, dude, you're 23. As my skills aren't completely gone.
Washed up 23.
Yeah. And there's nothing that bothers me more when somebody's in their 20s and they're like, I'm just getting old.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck you. On the other hand, it only gets worse. Every single card game, board game, crossword, dominoes, any other competitive event, she will beat me in. I've recently found that even in the games I'm initially better at, she will play until she gets good enough to beat me outright. For example, I played cribbage. I know, old man's game. We will not talk shit about cribbage. There was these guys at one of the places I used to work a long time ago. They got together, they get their bud bottles, and they play rounds and rounds of cribbage. And I'd be like, man, those guys look like they got a nice, simple time. You play any cribbage, Kyle? You ever
I'm
get into
Googling
that?
it right now. What the hell am I looking at here?
Honestly, my Christmas gift to you, I'm sending you a nice cribbage set. So text
Is
me
it
your
a
address
board
again.
game? Is it a card game?
I don't know. It looks kind of
No,
like
it's a card
Mancala.
game.
I can tell it's not, but I don't know.
No, it's a card game where you keep track of the point system or whatever, and you get a little board, and then you have the things and you move them around. Honestly, I can't believe you don't play it because it's going to be your new favorite thing. Kyle's going to be a huge cribbage guy. A year from now, he's going to be entering tournaments. Okay. So he played a lot growing up, whereas I just taught her how to play, and she already found the skills needed to beat me on a regular basis. Less than 2 weeks after the first learning. That's quick. It's now to the point where I feel like all I have is golf, and I also get internally frustrated by the constant losing, even though I love the genuine competitive aspect of our relationship. As a man, have I lost all respect? Do I embrace the fact that I'm marrying one of the people who just have the it factor? Should I utilize this to dominate other couples in team-related activities? Do I start practicing more in my free time to level the playing field? What would you guys do in this situation? Call off the engagement. You can't be losing for the rest of your life. No. I think you're just going to be psyched that you found somebody that is, I get it. Like, it could get a little old, but it might be one of the rare marriages where iron sharpens iron, And I don't know if you're about to take a knee here in a non-proposal way on the whole deal and kind of give up, because it certainly doesn't sound like you want to do that. But I think this is such a great part of somebody's makeup.
Your greatest rival is your wife. So good.
Yeah, like nobody's sitting here and be like, hey, this is going to be awesome. Because if you reversed it the other day and be like, I just dominate my wife in every single category, it's just amazing. She's taken L's for 7 straight years. Like,
keeps her sharp.
Like that.
She knows, right? She knows.
Although the competitive nature thing, whenever there's a broadcast, like that gets like we were talking before about how like when somebody takes a knee before running into the end zone for the extra score, where I think sometimes the extra score would be fine. But then everybody just freaks out because we're like, man, this guy gets it. He took a knee right before the other one that announcers love is like some backstory, how competitive. Like they were playing Chutes and Ladders and he assaulted his 7-year-old cousin. This guy, you don't think he wants a first down? Like, guy
dreams about winning. Right.
Yeah. I got to tell you, Dan, the coach has said the same thing. He's just got an edge to him.
Did you see the Jamar Chase thing, by the way? I think somebody asked him like, "Hey, did you think about going down?" I guess it was the Monday Night Football game against the Cowboys. He was like, "Nah, I just wanted to score." To be honest with you, and he just laughed it off. I'm like, yes, I want more of that. Like that Ohio State one was ridiculous. Like, don't be like you went on this rant, but like, be selfish. It's fine.
Well, the Ohio State one, I get it. Like there are times where it's like, hey, it's run the clock. They don't have the game is now over. I mean, because there's other times a guy gets a pick and they're up only one score and he starts running around. You're like, dude, go down. Like, what are you doing? But there's other times where I wonder if you're doing it because you actually are going to get more praise than the actual touchdown. I mean, the Jamar Chase one, like get to the end zone. That one,
yep.
I mean, the score was tied. I don't, whatever. All right. So look, I don't know that I would have liked this at 23.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that I think about
trying to remember back.
But if I were going to start a family with someone and this was a part of her personality, like something that she would want to instill in our children, I think it's such a win. I think it's such an advantage to grow up in a competitive household. It was funny because my father and I were just at each other's throats, not like in a like the way he raised me and that we didn't see eye to eye. I'm just talking on the competitive stuff. It was nasty. Like it was just all the time. Everything we did was a competition. And I was the oldest, so I'm his first kid. I'm his son. And, he's got the athletic background. And I would say my whole thing is fairly disappointing. But leading up to it, it was everything. And my mother did not understand it. And she hated it. Like if we were playing miniature golf and it'd be like a little family thing or something. And then my father and I would be like, okay, what are the rules? And like, let's figure this out. And this is what we're going to do. She would just walk away. She was so uncomfortable around it. She didn't understand it. She hated it. It made her uneasy. And she was like, if you guys are going to do this, like, I'm not going to be part of it. And we would just be like, beat it. Like, fine. The fact that you are somebody that played college sports, you certainly have this in you. If you're good enough to play golf, you obviously have some mental toughness there. I think the long-term payoffs for this are going to be so much better for you, especially if you want to have kids together, than how annoying it probably is right now at 23 years old to lose to your wife and everything. And I would say start blocking her shot. Start blocking her shot.
Yeah, it's fair game.
By the way, when you said that thing about your dad, I was just thinking, like, wasn't there somebody who said his biggest hater was his dad? It was Ja Morant. It's like, my dad's my biggest hater. I was just thinking about
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's got that quote saying, like, my biggest hater is my dad, so you can't do anything to me. Cool, man.
Yeah, I would say this. The problem with this, though, is like it kind of can't get to the buddies because you're never going to hear the end of this. So it's all well, and I agree with you. Like, think about having kids and like the athletic background that your kids are probably going to have. There's a good chance that you're not going to be paying for college. There's going to be some scholarships in your future, which is great, all good stuff. But you can't kind of get around in the group chat and the core group of guys that your wife is beating you at most sports. Like that's. I know it's 2024. It's just not going to fly. It's not going to fly.
Yeah, have a kid. You can beat that guy for like 20 years. That's cool.
Whoa,
20?
Yeah, all right, 18. I don't know.
I can't imagine what it's like to be a dad and then lose that first time you lose to your son in like one-on-one basketball in the driveway. And it's real.
Proud. Yeah. Right?
Probably, but the dynamics have just changed in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I remember there was a hoop.
Like, this kid's going to start feeling bad for me in a couple of years. God damn it.
I was back for the summer. We were doing a summer job. And I think it was the first fill out stage post 18 or whatever. And there was a hoop and there was lunch. And
I remember this story.
Like, yeah, he was looking at the hoop and he was like, lunch? I was like, yep. And it was a little low too. And once I realized I could dunk on it, I was like, the worst. I was fucking staring him down and yelling. Dude. And he was like, if you're going to play like this. Yeah, he was like, if you're going to play like this, we're just not going to play. And I was like, oh, you don't like it, huh?
Respect the game. Yeah.
Your bony ass elbow into my Adam's apple from age 7 till 15.
I hate that every time I hear it. I really do.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. He was like, you're just going to be an asshole, yell stuff. Because once I could dunk on this thing, I was like, oh, I got this from this side. I was like, I'm going to put this guy in the fucking blender. Hey, man, Just has to happen. It has to happen,
Happy
He
for you.
respected it. I think deep down he respected it.
Yeah. Well,
Day was only half over though. Couldn't like go home. That's the shit that kind of sucks. It's not like, all right, see you tomorrow. I'll sleep on this.
He probably regretted buying my meatball sub that day. All right. That'll do it for life advice. Thanks to Wargon. We've got to get that picture up.
well, this is hey, watch it on YouTube to get at
There you go. It's a
There you
great
go.
Yeah,
app
there you go.
for you too.
Watch it on YouTube
Yep.
and subscribe to our YouTube page. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. I owe you a big NBA Open, but I just didn't feel like we had enough with the 2 games. So we'll do some kind of the
Well, we
some of the
did.
rumor stuff that's picking up.
Jalen Suggs, just put on a show. No big deal. But it's a good night.
You don't love that second to last ISO 3 though.
Didn't love that. I would agree, but there was a lot more to like than dislike.
Yeah. The Giannis off-ball cuts are just so filthy and ridiculous. It's actually more dangerous than him getting downhill with the ball. So they've done a really good job with him. All right, that's Talking NBA. Please subscribe, as we said, to the YouTube page, and you can download the Ryen Russillo podcast from Ringers.